In a world addicted to noise, validation, and speed, silence, self-mastery, and stillness have become revolutionary. If your mind is exhausted by overthinking, chasing approval, or drowning in regret, then what you're really searching for is peace. The ancient Stoics understood this. They faced war, exile, betrayal, and yet they remained calm, composed, and clear. In this series, we explore 7 timeless Stoic principles that can liberate you from the prison of your thoughts. Epictetus said, "Some things are up to us, and some things are not." Antis said, "Most of our anxiety comes from obsessing over outcomes we don't obtain, to control hide bear on others, temps opinions, the past, the future." The Stoic path begins by drawing a mental line. What's mine to carry and what isn't? Your thoughts, yours. Your actions, yours. But their approval, their reaction, that belongs to them. Peace begins the moment you accept this truth. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, you have power over your mind and not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. TM. The way we see the world shapes the world we live in. Overthinking is not a problem of the world. It's a problem of perception. The Stoics didn't pretend pain didn't exist. They trained themselves to see it as a test, a teacher, not a punishment. To the modern ear, it sounds grim, but to the Stoic, memento mori is not about death. It's about urgency. Seneca wrote, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. TM. Regret dies when you realize life is not a rehearsal. You're not here to perfect the past. You're here to live the moment before it's gone. What if you stopped living to impress her and started living to express? Stoics pursued one thing: virtue, courage, wisdom, justice, temperance. Approval is fickle. Virtue is steady. You don't control whether people admire you, but you control whether you act with integrity. And that is freedom. Overthinking, approval, regret. These are not problems of life. They are problems of mindset. The Stoics built an inner fortress, not to escape the world, but to engage it with clarity and strength. What is strength? The world tells you it's dominance, speed, force. But the Stoics saw strength differently. Strength, to them, was the ability to remain unmoved in the face of chaos, to carry calm through storms. Seneca said, you must live for reason, not for passion. TM. But this doesn't mean becoming cold or robotic. It means seeing emotion for what it is. A signal, not a command. When you feel anger, ask, what is this anger trying to protect? When you feel anxiety, ask, what story am I believing right now? The Stoic doesn't suppress. The Stoic examines, and then, chooses. Marcus Aurelius spoke of an inner citadel, a fortress within, untouched by fortune, praise, or pain. It's not built overnight. It's built by daily choices. Saying no to impulse. Saying yes to principle. The world may shake, but the citadel remains. Emotional strength is not about being unaffected. It's about choosing your response, even when the world offers you chaos. Comfort is a poor teacher. The Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort. Fasting, cold baths, walking without luxury. Not to suffer, but to train. To remind themselves, you can live with less. You can endure more. You are stronger than you think. Emotional strength is not just born from comfort. It's forged in resistance. Storms will come. You will be tested. But the Stoics knew if your peace depends on the world, you'll never have it. If your peace comes from within, no one can take it. We chase success, we run from failure, and we try out desperately to control both. But what if you've been misled? What if success isn't praise and failure isn't shame? What if control is an illusion? In this episode, we'll explore how the Stoics redefined success, failure, and control, and how that redefinition can free you. To the Stoics, success wasn't empty wealth, fame, or legacy. It was living in accordance with nature. Not nature, as in trees and rivers, but your human nature, to be rational, just, disciplined, and courageous. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, but reminded himself daily, do your duty, don't expect applause. True success is internal. It's how you carry yourself, not how you're carried by others. Seneca wrote, "Wow, a gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." Wow, TM. To the Stoics, failure wasn't a TM, a flaw. It was a forge. What you call failure is often just feedback. Did you act with virtue? Did you stay composed? Did you learn? You don't fail when things fall apart. You fail when you abandon your principles in the process. Control is seductive, but the Stoics knew it's also a lie. You can influence many things, but you control almost nothing except your will. Epictetus reminded, how make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens, now TM. The Stoic doesn't to give up. They give in to reality, and in doing so, they find power where others feel panic. Success, failure, control. These words enslave most people. But the Stoic is free because they've rewritten what those words mean. They play a different game, a quieter one, a deeper one. Your mind is either rehearsing the past or fearing the future. Rarely is it where your body is aha here, in the present. The Stoics understood this trap, and they built a life not in memory, not in worry, but in the now. In this part of our series, we explore how the Stoics practiced presence and how doing so can quiet regret and end overthinking. Marcus Aurelius wrote, confine yourself to the present, TM. Not because the past does not TMT matter, but because it can now TM to be changed. Not because the future isn't important, but because it can't be predicted. The Stoic knows the only thing you can act on is now. And in that space, and in this moment, is where peace lives. Seneca warned about being tormented by things which have not yet happened, and might never happen. Most people suffer twice, once in reality and again in their mind. Stoics trained themselves to notice the thought, then return to what's in front of them. Regret? Learn from it, then release it. Worry? Prepare where you can, then let go. Anything else is wasted energy. Presence isn't reserved for monks or sages. It's a discipline, a daily training. You don't need hours of meditation. You just need to ask often, where am I right now? What am I doing? What matters here? Stoic presence is active, not passive. It's showing up fully for what life is offering now. The Stoic doesn't run from the past or obsess over the future. They return us again and again to this moment. Because this is where decisions are made, where habits are formed, where life is lived. Let go. You've heard it 100 times. But letting go doesn't mean you don't care. It doesn't mean apathy. For the Stoics, detachment was strength, a way of caring correctly, without being owned by what you care about. In this final part, we explore how Stoic detachment helps you stay grounded, even when everything else is shifting. Stoics divided life into two categories: things that matter, virtue, character, integrity, and things that don't TM'd, wealth, fame, reputation, outcome. These second ones, the Stoics called them indifference, RTM. Not because they TM are bad, but because they don't define you. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, but said none of it could touch the soul. Let go of the externals. Hold tight to your principles. Epictetus wrote, when you kiss your child, say to yourself, you are kissing a mortal. TM. It sounds harsh. But TM is not about fear. It's about presence. Stoic detachment means loving things deeply, while remembering they are not yours to keep. This mindset protects you from being shattered by change, because you never demanded permanence to begin with. You feel emotions, but you're not made of them. Detachment means watching your anger without becoming it, observing sadness without drowning in it. As Seneca said, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Detachment gives you space to choose a hasten instead of just react. To detach is not to give up. It's to hold lightly. You still care, you still act, you still try, but you don't cling. You don't beg reality to be different. The Stoic lets go, so they can move freely. In that freedom, overthinking dissolves, regret fades, and peace remains.